from a lady a week ago, and I would like to discuss with you what I received. Good day, Lady Lois. I am 29 years old lady who is frustrated and confused and needs your advice. I have been in a relationship with a man for 4 years now and do not have any idea where the relationship is heading towards. My man is 32 years old and he is gainfully employed and financially stable. We are both growing old and I want us to settle down. Anytime I talk about us getting married, my fiancé always tells me not to put pressure on him and also to wait for a while, and at the right time we will get married. Lady Lois, I do not know when the right time is. I have been with this gentleman for a long time. I love him. I am impressed and do not know if he will even marry me. I do not want to waste my time to be with him for him to jilt me at the end. What should I do? Please help me. This is the message I received from this lady, and I know a lot of ladies out there are going through this same experience, and I would like to discuss and share my opinion with you. We all want to get married. If you are in a relationship, you just don't want to be in a relationship and just waste your time. You want the relationship to progress and lead to something beautiful like marriage. But sometimes what you desire, you don't get. Sometimes the man you think you are in a relationship with and you want him to settle down with you, maybe he'll be having different views and opinion about the relationship, but he wouldn't come out to let you know. There are certain signs that you can use to determine whether the man you are with will marry you or not. In this video, I will show you these signs so that you will sit down and analyze the relationship that you are in and ask yourself if the man you are with is really ready to marry you or not. I'm doing this video so that it will be an eye-opener for you, and based on that, you can determine and choose what you want your life to be. For you to know whether the man you are with will marry you or not, this is sign number 1. Anytime you talk to him about you settling down, he will really not give you a straight answer. When you ask him when you ask him about the date, when you ask him what are his plans, he will always tell you to take your time, to relax, not to give him pressure, and that at the right time, he is going to decide when you people are going to get married. If he keeps on not giving you straight answers to questions that you ask concerning you settling down in marriage, you should know that this is a big red flag. He will not marry you. 2, he gets angry when you try to talk to him about marriage. Deep within his heart, he knows he's not going to marry you. He knows it within his spirit that he will never marry you, but he will not tell you and he doesn't want you to leave. So anytime you go to him and you talk about you settling down, his guilty conscience will start to work on him, or he feels guilty about his decision towards you. So in order for him to relieve himself from that guilt, he will always become defensive and you becomes angry so that you do not talk about you settling down again. 3, he keeps you distance from his family and friends. If a man really loves you and wants to settle with you, he will always make sure you get closer to his family. He will introduce you to his friends and he will tell them how proud he is of you. But if you realize that he doesn't want you to see any member of his family, he doesn't want to introduce you to any member of his family, he doesn't introduce you to any of his friends, when you go out for gathering, he always asks you to sit aside, whereby he himself goes alone and meets his friends or his family, then you should know that it's a big red flag that he hasn't made the decision to settle down with you. 4, you always feel desperate and pathetic. How do you feel in your current relationship? Do you feel so desperate? Do you feel so pathetic? Do you feel so sad? Do you see that this relationship is not going anywhere? If you are feeling that about the relationship you are in right now, you should know that this relationship is not heading towards anywhere. If a relationship will end up in marriage, you will always be happy. You will always feel satisfied and joyous. You will feel so great and you will feel so good. Anytime you see your man, you are so happy because you know this relationship is heading towards something so sweet and great. But if you are not getting those signs, if you are always frustrated, if you are always pathetic, if you are always sad and depressed about this relationship that you are in, then you should know and realize that this relationship is not going to lead to marriage. 5, he downplays your relationship to others. When people ask him about your relationship, he always tells them that, oh, this relationship is not that serious. If you see him doing that, if you see him telling people that he's not sure about you, or if you get a hint that he's always downplaying this your relationship, you should then realize that he is not going to marry you. 6, if you are in a relationship with a man who always proclaims that he doesn't believe in marriage, then you should know that this is a big red flag. This man will never marry you. Yes, he doesn't believe in the union. He doesn't believe in a relationship. He doesn't believe in marriage. If he doesn't believe in marriage, then definitely he is not taking you serious, or he's not taking this relationship a step ahead, or he doesn't want to marry you. You see, sometimes when you are talking to him and you talk about marriage, he will just say, oh, marriage is just a paper. Oh, marriage is nothing. Oh, for me, I don't want to get married. For me, I don't believe in settling down. As soon as your man keeps saying those things to you, you should then realize that he is not going to settle down with you. He is not going to marry you. So, it's better you advise yourself based on that. 7, if he keeps on postponing the wedding plans. Anytime you will ask him when you are going to marry or settle down, he keeps on postponing the time. He can tell you next year. When next year comes, he will tell you in 6 months' time, in 3 months' time. Keeps on postponing and postponing. You should know that he's not going to marry you. Research have made us to know that when a man is in a relationship with a woman, within the first 6 months, the man will decide whether to marry the woman he is in a relationship with or not. Within 6 months' time, he would have made his decision concerning the relationship you are in. Even if he is not financially stable or he doesn't have resources, within his heart, he knows that he will marry you within the first 6 months. So, if you have been in a relationship with this man over years and still he keeps on postponing the wedding plans, you realize that he's okay. You realize that he's financially stable. You realize that he can marry you. But anytime you talk to him about marriage, he keeps on postponing and postponing it. You should then realize that this is a very big red flag. He's not going to marry you. 8, if the man lives like a single man. Yes, we have some men who lives like single men. We have some men who likes to be a bachelor all the rest of their lives. Yes, if you always likes going out with friends, if you always like chilling around, if you always likes flirting around with other ladies, this man isn't serious. He enjoys his singleness and he doesn't want to settle with you. So it's better you advise yourself. 9, he is not interested in discussing future plans with you. If a man wants to settle down with you, he always wants to discuss his future plans with you. He always wants to discuss what the future will look like with you, the number of children you are going to have, the kind of house you are going to build, the vacations you like to go, and everything about your future. But if you realize that he does not want to discuss any future plans with you, you've been with him and he doesn't talk about the future, he doesn't talk about you settling down, he doesn't talk about anything concerning you, then you should know and realize that this man will never marry you. So it's better you advise yourself and know what is best for you. 10. He detached from you emotionally. If a man is really interested in you and wants to settle down with you, he becomes vulnerable to you. He tells you his emotions. When things are bothering him, when things are not going well with him, anytime he is down or depressed, he tells you. He shares his dreams with you. He shares his weakness. He shares his strengths. He shares his joy. He shares everything with you. He is emotionally attached to you. So if you realize that your man is not emotionally attached to you, want to share with you anything concerning him, you should then know and realize that this relationship is not heading towards anywhere, and that you should know that he really doesn't want to settle down with you because he doesn't believe in sharing his emotions with you. 11. He doesn't even care to meet your friends and family. Yes, if a man is really into you and wants to settle down with you or marry you, he is always interested in meeting your family. He wants to meet your family and make his intentions and tell them how he cherishes and cares about you. He wants to let the whole world know how he is proud of you and how he wants to settle down with you. So, if you are in a relationship with a man and you have been in a relationship with him for such a long time and he doesn't care about meeting your friends and family, you should know and realize that this relationship is not heading towards anywhere, and this relationship will definitely not lead to marriage because you are not factor in his plans and in his dreams. 12. He sometimes drops hints of breakup. What do I mean by that? Any little thing or any time you engage in any conflict or fight, he always tells you that thing happens again, I will break up with you. If this thing happens again, we can't continue with this relationship. If you don't change your behavior, I am going to leave this relationship and go our separate. If you are with a man and he always talks about breakup, any little thing, he just gives you a hint of breakup. Any small thing, he tells you this relationship can't work. He keeps on giving you those hints. Then you should realize and know that you are not factor in his future and that you don't have a space within his life. He's just keeping you because you are keeping his company. But settling down with you, no, he doesn't want to. Because if you really cherish somebody, if you really admire and adore somebody, no matter what, no matter the fight and quarrels you engage in, you would never open your mouth and tell the person we should break up or we should go our separate ways. So, if you're in a relationship with a man and always he is giving you signs of breaking up, he's always talking about you separating. Anytime there is any little misunderstanding between you, you should know and realize that this relationship is not going anywhere and that he will not marry you. So, what do you do when you see all these signs in your relationship? What I would like you to do is that you sit your man down and you talk with him. Have a heart-to-heart conversation with him. Let him tell you the position of the relationship. Let him tell you the space you have within his heart. Let him be frank with you. Let's ask him where the relationship is heading towards. Sometimes we ourselves, we know and see that this relationship is not going anywhere, but we keep a blind eye to it. We don't want to even think about it and talk about it. No, if you really want to settle down and make your life happy, then you have to sit your man down and ask him to tell you the place you have within his heart. If he doesn't want you in his life, he will come out and tell you that he doesn't want you. And if he tells you that, just don't be sad, just don't be miserable. Just know that it's not about you, it's about him who is not making the decision for himself. The only thing you have to do is that just thank God that he has even revealed it to you very early so that you can move on with your life. Yes, it is painful. It is going to pain you. You are going to be sad because you have wasted all these years with him. But it's better for you to know it now and early than to be in it and waste more years for him to leave you in the end and go for another relationship or go and marry somebody else. So if you see all these signs in the relationship, sit him down and ask him and let him learn to you your place in his life. And based on the answer he will give to you, you will know what to do with your life. So kindly subscribe to this channel and share this video with all your loved ones. If you know somebody in a relationship and you care about this person, you can share this video with that person. Also, if you want me to discuss any issues about relationship, if you have any topic that you would like me to discuss with you and also share my views and opinion with you, don't forget to write it in the comment section below. I will look at it and do it accordingly. If you are having any issues and you need my advice and opinion, you can send me an email. I have left my details in the description there. Go there and take my contact and get in touch with me, and I'll be willing to be of help to you. Till then, stay blessed and stay safe. Bye.